Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies. Today we're looking at this 2019 Mitsubishi Outlander with a 2.4 liter engine in this vehicle. Here's your underhood label. This lets you know important information about your vehicle, emissions wise that is. This should be the same, if not very similar, to most 2013 to 2019 at least year model vehicles with the same engine. Make sure you look for a link in the description to buy the parts being pointed out in this video. Starting off right here on top, you're going to find your first part or emissions component.
Here is your PCV valve. The PCV valve uses the engine vacuum to pull blow-by gases out of the crankcase and push the gases into the intake manifold and back into the combustion chamber, where they will be reburned through the combustion process and hopefully go out the tailpipe and through the catalytic converter to be cleaned up. If you have a bad PCV valve, it can cause many symptoms, from an increase of internal combustion pressure, which causes excessive blow-by, and that's how you get oil leaks, a lot of oil leaks. Failure of one or more seals and gaskets, again, oil leaks. You'll get moisture and sludge buildup inside the engine if your PCV valve is stuck in the closed position. Moisture and sludge is obviously not good and causes more problems down the road. If you have a stuck open PCV valve, you're going to get a rough engine idle, you're going to get a bad air-fuel mixture, and increase of oil consumption as well. You might also start to see blue smoke come out of the tailpipe because you're going to be sucking so much oil through your PCV valve. This is your positive crankcase ventilation valve.
Here's the PCV valve hose. On the opposite side of the valve cover, you'll find another hose. This is leading to the intake boot or the intake system, but it's before the throttle body, so there's no vacuum. That is the breather side. The PCV valve should have vacuum. Looking down the intake boot, you're going to find your first emissions vapor component. This is the Purge solenoid. It looks like it's pushed right into the intake manifold, and if you give me a second, we'll get down there so you can see what it looks like. But your emissions vapor system is really hard to diagnose, and this is a very common part that goes bad in the Evap system.
Here is your canister purge valve or solenoid. This solenoid allows fuel vapors to go into the intake, so the vapors are burned through the combustion system and through the catalytic converter and out the tailpipe. A bad purge solenoid can cause many codes, some of which would be a P0441 or a P0446. Those are common, but they do cause many more codes. The main issue that I see with these a lot is that they don't close all the way. So you could do a 9-volt battery test or a ohms resistance test. These cause a large evap leak or sometimes a small evap leak. So they do commonly go bad. This is your vapor purge solenoid.
Thankfully, it doesn't look too hard to replace this purge solenoid. Again, looking straight down, if you're looking at the ground from the top of the engine, you can see the purge solenoid. Moving on, right here on the top of the engine, next to the air cleaner box, you have your MAF sensor, your mass airflow sensor. This sensor can cause a lot of false codes, especially if it gets dirty. So if you're chasing a lean or rich code, can't find it, make sure that thing's looking good. Moving along, right here between the engine and the firewall, you're going to have
your bank one, sensor one, oxygen sensor, or possibly air fuel ratio sensor. Look for a link in the description below to purchase if you need one.
Pre-catalytic converter oxygen sensors, or lambda sensors, measure the amount of air to fuel ratio in the exhaust stream coming from the combustion process through the exhaust stream. With this reading, the computer knows how much fuel to give or take away from the engine to create the perfect combustion air to fuel ratio. A bad oxygen sensor can cause poor fuel economy, and also if you have a heater circuit malfunction code such as a P0135 or P0141, I would start thinking or suspect your oxygen or lambda sensor to be at fault. If you have a lean or rich code, I would at that time start my diagnosis to find a leak in the vacuum system or the exhaust system that the computer cannot fix by giving or taking away fuel from the combustion process. These are your pre-catalytic converter oxygen sensors. Your pre-catalytic converter oxygen sensor is not the only one on this vehicle. You do have another oxygen sensor that monitors the catalytic converter. This would be your after-cat oxygen sensor. You will notice there is another catalytic converter here to my left, and I'll give you some knowledge about that in just a moment. Looking from the driver's side, you get a better view of this and probably easier access if you need to replace it. But here you go. This is the
location of your Bank 1 Sensor 2 oxygen sensor or air fuel ratio sensor. If you need one, make sure you look for a link in the description below to purchase.
Post-catalytic converter oxygen sensors or lambda sensors are on your vehicle to measure the air-to-fuel ratio coming out of your catalytic converter. These want to see a wavelength that is stuck in one position, not switching from rich to lean. If it sees a rich to lean switch in your exhaust stream, the computer will think your catalytic converter is faulty. If you have a P0420 or P0421 or P0422, those codes let you know that catalytic converter is not performing at its optimum level. Those codes could be from a poor catalytic converter or from this oxygen sensor being at fault. If you have a heater circuit malfunction with this oxygen sensor or lambda sensor, I would suspect the sensor itself is bad and replace that at this time. This is your post-catalytic converter oxygen sensor or lambda sensors. To get this oxygen sensor off and all other oxygen sensors pretty much, you will need the oxygen sensor 7/8 socket. You should find a link in the description below to purchase one if you need. Looking at this catalytic converter right here, if you have a catalyst efficiency code, this catalytic converter does not look like it should or need to be replaced. I don't see any oxygen sensors past that cat, so that to me means it's not monitored. If you have a P0420 or 422 or something like that, don't worry about that catalytic converter. Now looking in the rear of the vehicle, just to the driver's side, you're going to shimmy under and you're going to find a pretty important part of the Evap system.
Here is your fuel vapor canister, or also called your charcoal canister. It is an emissions control device that traps vapors from the Evap system and sends them to the fuel tank for later use, if it's working properly. They very rarely go bad. This is your fuel vapor canister.
Rarely does a vapor canister go bad. When it does, you should see vapor or like an oily residue built up on the crack or where the hose is loose. Looking up here to the center of the vehicle, this is all one assembly if you replace it.
Here is your Evap system vent solenoid, or in some vehicles or makes, they call it the canister shutoff valve. This solenoid allows vapors to release into the atmosphere when the vehicle is not running or not able to send the vapors through the intake system. Common codes caused by a failure in the vent valve would be a P0455, and in some American vehicles, GM vehicles, are commonly P0466, but many other Evap system codes due to a problem with the vent solenoid not closing all the way, which will cause a gross leak or a Evap small leak. This is your vapor vent solenoid.
The vent solenoid is connected to this here filter system or assembly. If this needs to be replaced or you need one, make sure you look for a link in the description below to purchase. Here I'm trying to get you a good view of the vent into the atmosphere or the vent for the Evap system into the air. It's really hard to see, but it is up in there. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Hopefully this video helped you out. If not, maybe one of these 2 videos will get you a little bit further on your DIY fix. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next, hopefully helpful video. Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies.